Hey guys, as I said, I'm making a dedication to weekly videos, so here I am. I hope you all had a great week. This last week, I had the pleasure of participating in the 21st Tilted Shed 12-hour game jam. In this video, I'll show you the game we made and talk about some of the challenges that we faced while making the game. The game is available on my itch page. You can find a link for that in the description. I live streamed the whole game jam on Twitch, and you should see some footage of that being played now. Typically, the Tilted Shed game jams are held in person. However, due to the ongoing COVID pandemic, it's being held virtually. In this jam, we were given 2 words to start: empty and dinosaur. After spending the first hour forming a team and deliberating, we were presented with the real challenge of the jam. 3 more nouns and 1 verb were randomly rolled: pirate, explosions, siren head, and danced. These are then paired with a predefined Mad Libs. If you don't know, those are the word games where you fill out the nouns or the verbs, etc. randomly and receive a really silly story in exchange. Our challenge was to build our game based off of the Mad Libs. The mythical Sirenheadosaurus and the empty pirate is the result. Once upon a time, an empty pirate's family was starving when a mythical siren head saw their plight and came to help. The empty pirate climbed onto Siren Head's dinosaur body. They both danced far into the clouds until explosions appeared, filled with golden riches. The Siren Head spoke, "Heed my word and take only what you need." The empty pirate, never having seen so much, wanted it all. The empty pirate stuffed pockets, pants, and shirt as full as possible. The empty pirate climbed onto Siren Head's dinosaur body. Siren Head grimaced and started to dance away. A day later, the Siren Head danced on over the poor family's home, and it could see that the family had one less mouth to feed. As I said, it's quite silly. It did propose a fun challenge, though. Once tasks were divided up, I got to programming. I had a shader and a custom renderer idea floating in my mind from the night before, so I jumped into implementing that. The shader produced that interesting dithered effect all over the game. I also repurposed the water shader that I made from the Cat's Dots project to work as lava within the game. When you touch the lava, you die, and the scene restarts. Early on, it became apparent that a few team members would not have much to contribute to the project. One of them stepped out after only 30 minutes or so in. He said he would be back after an hour, but he never showed back up. The other stayed around for a bit, and I applaud her for that. She gave a solid effort to do something that she did not know how to do. Unfortunately, though, she determined that she would have to step out. This left us down 2 members. Luckily, we had a whole slew of other talented devs. Character Guy got to work ZBrushing up this beautiful Sirenheadosaurus model, knocking out 2 words with 1 stone. Efficiency. I like it. Jason knocked out this beautiful pirate model and her animations. Nathan jumped right into recording some audio that flowed fantastically. And Kirk and I got into programming. Mars Boy showed up at some point. He was working on a main menu with an asset, but unfortunately, he had to leave pretty early on, and we were unable to implement the menu that he was working on. This is my second time having done a game jam with Jason, and I really enjoy it. He's a fantastic dev. You can check out the other project that we worked on, which was the Snake game. You can find a link to my Twitch down below. This is also the first time that I made a platformer. Unlike Vimlark, shout out to Vimlark, you can find him on YouTube, also on Twitch, who works mainly in platformers. I mainly work in isometric or strategy style games or role-playing style games. So it was kind of fun working out how to do, like edge detection for wall jumps and that delay time. So after you step off of a platform, you can still jump for a moment before you fall, and putting in air jumps and ground jumps and wall jumps. And it was pretty fun, and I could see myself taking it further. I wanted to put in spikes and moving walls, but ultimately 12 hours is not enough time to do too much of that. But it was fun, and I would make a platformer again. Knowing what I know now would make things a lot easier. I also discovered some inconsistencies within Unity. I learned that when you draw a box on the screen, it uses the center and the full extents. But when you query a box within the physics space, it uses a center and a half extents. That took me about 45 minutes of trying to bug fix why my player's feet were saying they were touching the ground when he wasn't. Consistency, please. Can we have some of it? Wow. Wow. Screw you. In this jam, I somehow ended up as the team leader. I'm not quite sure how it happened. When we were deliberating over what kind of a game we would make, facilitators came in and asked us to switch channels to receive the next part of, the game where we got the Mad Lib and the other words. And they asked for the team leader. I said, I don't know who the team leader is. We haven't picked one. And they looked at me and they said, you are. And I was like, oh. And I just went with it. And the rest is history. But it was interesting leading a team of, I think we had 6 or 7 people. Like I said, the number of people within the team was inconsistent. It did change throughout the course of the jam. So it was a little bit of a challenge having new people come in and having other people leave during the middle of a game jam. Ultimately, though, I had a good time. I always do. These 12-hour game jams are fantastic. This is, I think, my 5th one that I've participated in, and this would also mark my 4th win in some form. They typically have 2 ways to win the game jams. There is a points round, where it marks to see if you incorporated all of your words, and a judged round, where the judges go through and determine the game that they liked the best as a result of the game jam. So when I say I've taken first place in 4 of these 5 games, it's been between at least one of those 2 rounds. This one took first place in the points round. We do not currently have the results of the judged round. I think my team did a great job, and I believe that they did deserve the win that we received for those points. I look forward to what the next game jam has to bring me. I will also be streaming that on my Twitch. Pay attention for news as to when that will be happening. If you're interested in any of my Unity assets, check out my Unity asset store. The link is in the description down below. If you'd like to play any of my game jam games or asset demos, head over to my itch. Be sure you tune into my live stream on Twitch 4 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific. Link is in the description down below. As always, if you'd like to see more of my content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Special thanks to my Twitch subscribers and backers on Patreon for making my content possible. If you'd like to see your name on this list, head over to my Patreon. Link is in the description down below. And finally, thanks for tuning in and watching the video today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your quarantine. I'll see you next week.